Hi friends, here's a story called Ada Twist Scientist. She has a lot that she's thinking about, so let's find out. Ada Marie, said not a word till the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing the world, not making a sound. She learned how to climb and make her big break with a trail of chaos that left her in her wake. She ran through the day chasing each sound in sight and didn't slow down till she conked out at night. That means she was till she fell asleep. Her parents were frazzled but tried not to freak as Ada grew bigger and still not a speak. Clearly young Ada, with lots in her head, would have something to say when it ought to be said. So she was just checking everything out, thinking about it. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree. She climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as good parents should. Ada's chin quivered, but she did not cry. She just took a deep breath and simply said, "Why? Is this a good idea to climb up a clock? Why does it tick? Why does it talk? Why don't you call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck on a rose?" She started with why and then what, how, and when. By bedtime, she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of her curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You'll figure it out." Her parents kept up with her high-flying kid, whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. Lots of things she was thinking about. Why not? How does it work? What's going on? Even Miss Greer found her hands were quite full when Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. What kind of experiment do you think she's doing here? Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench, that means something stinky, reeked at her nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. "Zoe," said Ada, which got her to think, what is the source of that horrible stink? How does a nose know that something is a smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped at her chin. She started and thought it to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, and a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. Ada did research. That means she's looking into something and checking it out to learn all that she could of smells and smelling and both the stink and the good. One hypothesis is taking a guess to try to figure something out. Ada thought could be true. A terrible stink came from Daddy's cabbage stew. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. Then Zoe, the stink struck again, just like that. Hypothesis 2, it's caused by the cat. So the first one wasn't true. It wasn't the stew. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne, so young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents said, "Stop! S-T-O-P, stop." Where is she putting that cat? Does it belong in the washing machine? No, it does not. Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now. By the time we count to 3. "Enough," said her mother. "That's it," said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. "Why?" Ada questioned. Her mother said no. "What?" Ada said. Her father said, "Go." "You ruined our supper. You made the cat stink, even with your questions. Now sit and think." She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. What should she do? She sat all alone by herself in the hall, and Ada once more could say nothing at all. So this is something she's doing. Do not do this at home. Never write on the walls, okay, friends? This is just a story. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat, and she thought about science and Stu and the cat. and how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do, and she asked a small question, and then she asked two, and each of those led to her three questions more, and some of those questions resulted in four. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. She started at why, and then what, how, and when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Wait till you see what she did to the walls. Oh my. Her parents calmed down and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had a gawk. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall, and thinking chair now was a great thinking hall. They watched the young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, "We'll figure it out." So again, do not write on your walls. And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and heart that is true. They remade their world, and now they are all in act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. Fiction is something made up, such as it's raining bananas. Is that true? No. But you could say it's raining rainwater. That is a fact. That is true. She asked lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. And look, she has a roll of paper to use to write her ideas, which is a really good idea. Paper is great. And as for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but to learn as she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that is the question, and someday, who knows? What do you think, friends? Will they discover? Bye.